Chapter 321. Poisonous Insect Emperor, Snake Emperor. Suddenly, he let out a low roar and instantly performed a berserking. This was already his last card. After berserking, his strength doubled and was comparable to the outbreeding stage Seal King level. Come on! Little Gold's gaze blazed, his eyes filled with a shocking battle intent, and his powerful will broke through the heavens and went straight to the clouds. Boom! The robber thunder swooped down, like a boiling sea of thunder, flooding the mountainside, flooding Little Gold, and flooding the entire heaven and earth. The surrounding sky and earth were all filled with dazzling and blazing lightning, and everything in heaven and earth instantly lost its color. Little Gold ... double quotes in the distance. Kang Tiao was full of whirring, his eyes staring at the mountainside. Enveloped by the sea of thunder, his fists pinched tightly. Fighting fist ... Full style, invincible battle intent. Just as Kang Tiao was worried, a loud roar came out from within the sea of thunder. And then he saw a golden-colored giant ape rushing out of the sea of thunder and blasted a fist into the robbing clouds. As this fist blasted out, an invincible battle intent rose up into the sky, breaking the sky. Boom! The robbery's cloud was instantly blasted through a hole. But that golden-colored giant ape also shattered apart. Kang Tiao didn't worry about it. That was only Little Jin's Dao God, not Little Jin's original body. I didn't expect that Little Jin had already comprehended the full style of the fighting fist. What a strong move. I'm afraid that my Overlord fist, which only has one style, is no longer comparable to this punch of Little Jin's. Kang Tiao murmured. There was no longer the slightest whirring in his eyes. Even if there was still one last calamity thunder left, he believed that Little Gold could get through it. In the sky, the robbery's clouds still existed, the tumbling thunderbolts mending the holes that were blasted out by Little Gold completely. Immediately after that, the last calamity lightning, too, was beginning to brew. On the ground, the small hill that had been destroyed by the boundless lightning with only a third of it remaining. Zijing closed his eyes and meditated, digesting the pills he had swallowed and repairing his injuries. Although the 8th robber thunder had been broken by him, it had also caused him to suffer a heavy blow. With 3 out of 10 of his cultivation lost, if he couldn't recover, he wouldn't be able to cope with this last robber thunder at all. Time passed bit by bit. 1 hour later, Little Gold opened his eyes blazing. He sensed the last calamity thunder descending. Even though his injuries hadn't fully recovered, at this moment, there was no time for him to continue recovering from his injuries. He could only fight to the death. Come on! Little Gold looked up at the sky at the robbing cloud, his eyes filled with battle intent. The robber cloud seemed to feel his provocation and began to violently roll and stir up, the surging energy fluctuations, like water waves in the sea, spreading out towards the surrounding space, filling the entire heaven and earth. Boom! A blinding light illuminated the entire heaven and earth. The terrifying thunderbolt swooped down, as fast as a meteor, containing the might of heaven and earth, and descended with a roar. This was the last of the calamity thunderbolts, and it contained all the power of the remnant calamity clouds, descending with an overbearing might. Wherever it passed, the void shattered, space ruptured, and the entire heaven and earth was in turmoil. One fist battles the heavens. Divine battle unrivaled. Battle heaven and battle earth. Invincible battle intent. When the last of the robberies thundered down, Little Jin went completely crazy. And in his berserk state, he struck out 4 consecutive fighting fists, bringing his most peaked power into play. Subsequently, his Dao God also rushed out of his body, striking 4 punches in a row, the same as his main body, and rushed towards the incoming robotic thunder. Boom! A shocking explosion. The entire heaven and earth was shaken. The small hill that was only 1/3 left was destroyed by the lightning all of a sudden, and the surrounding space shattered apart one after another. Little Gold was in the middle of it, directly submerged by the boundless thunder and lightning, causing outsiders to not be able to see the scene in it at all. Little Gold ... on a distant mountain peak. Kang Chon's eyes stared tightly at the sea of thunder in front of him. Don't worry, the little monkey's very astute. He's using the power of the last wave of the heavenly tribulation to impact the third level of the outbreeding stage. The Dan Emperor's laughter came from within his mind. Kang Chia sighed in relief at these words and simply sat down on his knees on top of the mountain peak, waiting patiently. After about half an hour, the boundless sea of thunder began to dissipate, and Kang Chia stood up, his face full of anticipation. Roar! A moment later, an excited roar came out, followed by a golden figure rushing out from the soon-to-be dissipated thunder sea, shooting towards Kang Chia here. Boom! It was a golden-clothed teenager, and as his feet landed, the mountain peak where Kang Chia was located shuddered. Brother! Little Gold's face was filled with excitement and euphoria. He felt that his entire body was filled with power at the moment, and that feeling of his strength being enhanced by a lot made him incomparably excited. Kang Chia also revealed a smile. He was able to feel that right now Little Jin's strength was not much worse than his at all. And even after Little Jin went berserk, his strength was close to the outbreeding stage Seal Emperor level. Kid, there are many little guys from the Heavenly Tao sect coming. If you don't want to be mobbed, you'd better hurry up and leave. Suddenly, Emperor Don's voice came again. Kang Chia frowned. Then his divine thoughts probed out, and under his probing, a group of disciples from the Heavenly Tao sect were coming from the direction of the Thousand Blade Valley, towards this place ********. Zijin's brows also frowned. Obviously, he had already sensed those people. In fact, after breaking through the out-of-body stage, his divine thoughts were even more powerful than Kang Chon's. Let us go. Kang Chia let out a low cry. His body rose up into the air and disappeared into the air. Little Gold followed closely behind and also disappeared. Not long after, a figure descended from the sky, curiously surveying the distant place of the tribulation. But unfortunately, they didn't see a single silhouette. Gone. It's a pity. That person who was ferrying the tribulation obviously didn't want to be discovered by us. Let's go. We're one step too late. One by one, the disciples of the Heavenly Tao sect left with faces full of disappointment. In the eastern battlefield, above a certain mountain peak, a huge black treasure ship slowly descended from the sky. Soon after, two figures came out from above the treasure ship. These were two black-robed Jews. The one in the lead stared deeply at the vast earth in front of him and said in a low voice, "This is the east battlefield. Evil Wookiee, tell me where that purple-robed brat's location is." Evil Wookiee, if Kang Chia was here, he would have recognized this black-robed youth at the back as one of the three out-of-body stage powerhouses who had intercepted them halfway through their first visit to the Orthodox demon battlefield back then, the evil wall from the Poison Sect. Bug Emperor Senior Brother, don't worry. My Poison Sect is unique in tracking. That purple-clothed kid killed my Poison Sect disciple back then, but he didn't know that I had already quietly left a mark on him. Evil Wall laughed grimly. When they, the three true disciples of the Devil Sect, the 10,000 Demons Hall, and the Poison Sect intercepted Kang Chia and Huang Dao and their group, who knew that they had kicked the iron plate, and in return, they were killed by Kang Chia and their armor, and in the end, only he and the out-of-body stage powerhouse from the 10,000 Demons Hall escaped. However, also from that incident, he learnt that Kang Chia was a supreme genius, so he immediately reported it to the sect. The Poison Sect was very serious about this matter. Being able to kill a peak outbreeding stage powerhouse at the Yuanying stage was definitely a top-notch supreme genius, and for this level of righteous genius, the Poison Sect had always been killed without mercy. Therefore, this time, the Poison Sect sent a strong man to follow Evil Wing, ready to strangle Kangxia in the cradle, not giving him the chance to grow up. Things like this kind of strangling geniuses, the poison sect had already done it more than once. When Zhao Wuji and Dao Yi Yongming, the poison sect also they had carried out strangulation, but unfortunately, it failed in the end. Of course, things like this kind of uncompromising thing, the poison sect wasn't the only sect that would do it. Other sects, including the Heavenly Dao sect, would all stifle each other's geniuses. It was a kind of secret rivalry. Soon, Evil Goki closed his eyes, sat on the ground with his knees crossed, and performed an evil technique. One could only see a stream of black gas escaping from his body, diffusing towards the surrounding space before disappearing. A moment later, Evil Goki opened his eyes, a hint of a smile appearing on his face. Senior Insect Emperor, the tracking has arrived. They are still in the eastern battlefield. However, they are in the Thousand Blade Valley at the moment. I'm afraid we'll have to wait for a while. Evil Goki said respectfully. The black-robed youth in front of him, called the Poison Bug Emperor, was an out-of-body stage Emperor Sealer powerhouse. Even in the poison sect, he was a powerful figure, not something he could be compared to. Then let's wait for him to come out. The Poison Bug Emperor smiled morosely as he heard this. Similarly, at this moment, in another part of the eastern battlefield, a huge treasure ship descended, which also had two figures riding on it, one of which was dressed in red, a large man. The other person had a snake's head and body, with a greenish glint in his eyes, but a very powerful aura. The poison sect is good at tracking. I'm afraid they're already one step ahead of us. Hurry up and find that purple-clothed kid. The snake-headed strong man said in a cold voice. Yes, Snake Emperor Senior Brother. The red-robed big man sniffed and nodded his head respectfully. Then he took out a mirror from his spatial ring. This mirror was very peculiar. Made of zhuanxia, the whole of it was green in color. It was hard to see anything from it. Zhuanxia mirror is my 10,000 Demon Hall Zhuanxia Hall Master personally refined king treasure weapon. Although it does not have any attack power, but it can detect all things in a radius of 500,000 miles. With this thing, that purple-clothed kid can't hide. The red-robed big man thought in his heart. Then his divine thoughts probed into the zhuanxia mirror, and the light immediately flashed in the mirror. On the side, the snake head and body strong man called Snake Emperor waited quietly. After about half a quarter of an hour, the big man in red retrieved his divine thoughts. His face was a little ugly, frowning. Not there. Senior Snake Emperor, surprisingly absent. His people cannot be found in the entire East battlefield. They couldn't have left the East battlefield already, right? Don't be anxious, just now. Did you detect the Poison Bug Emperor and his group? Snake Emperor calmly said. The red-robed big man's eyes lit up at his words and said, Senior Brother is wise. I just saw that both the Poisonous Worm Emperor and Evil Goki were also in the East battlefield. They haven't left. HMPH. Since they didn't leave, it means that the purple-clothed kid is still in the East battlefield. If I didn't talk about it wrongly, that kid is now staying in the Thousand Blade Valley, so the Zhuan Heavenly Mirror can't detect it. Snake Emperor coldly snorted. Red Clothes nodded. In reality, it wasn't that the Zhuan Heavenly Mirror couldn't probe into the Thousand Blade Valley, but that he didn't dare to. After all, everyone knew that there was a war elder of the Heavenly Dao sect sitting in the Thousand Blade Valley, so even if he was given 100 guts, he wouldn't dare to probe. That would be an act of seeking death. We'll wait here. You keep an eye on the Poisonous Insect Emperor. Once they make a move, notify me right away, and we'll keep a lookout. The Snake Emperor laughed eerily. Yes. The big man in red nodded his head. Thousand Blade Valley. After the transmigration, Kangxia and Zijin turned in a circle, bypassing those Heaven's Path sect disciples who were watching, and re-entered the Blade Valley. Brother, when are we going to the King's Land? Little Gold asked with a face full of anticipation. There's no rush. You've just broken through the outbreeding stage. It's better to take this opportunity to shut down and stabilize your cultivation. It's not too late to set off in a month's time, Kang Chia said with a smile. After searching for the Wind and Cloud continent for half a year without finding Lu Hai's whereabouts, he had already begun to give up and was preparing to head to the Land of Kings. I don't know if any of the senior brothers and sisters know of a disciple called Kang Chia. We're looking for him for urgent matters. If you know, please kindly inform us. Just as Kang Chia and Little Gold both stepped into the Blade Valley, a loud voice came from the entrance of a large hall not far away. Kang Chia frowned and looked over, but he saw that at the entrance of the test hall, a group of ragged Heavenly Dao sect disciples stood, and one of them, who had a cultivation of the late out of body stage, was shouting something to the passing crowd